This is Your Own Best Company, a podcast for people who love to work alone. Welcome, everybody, to Your Own Best Company. This is a podcast for people who love to work alone. My name is Franklin Taggart, and this podcast was my idea, and I am a person who loves working alone. And the person that I have as my guest today, this is a quick turnaround. This particular conversation was arranged in about 2 hours. And it was after I saw an email come through this morning from Dre Beltrami from Entrepreneurial Society that just, it was lit. And this email was all about, it was kind of it felt like a knee jerk to all of the gurus' suggestions about how you should show up and market your business, especially as a single parent. Now, Dre, I'm going to just tell people that I should be the president of your fan club.
We'll think about it, okay? We'll throw around that idea. We'll see where it lands.
Well, I want to tell you that the Entrepreneurial Society Facebook group is one of my favorite places to participate. And I've gotten so much value just out of the exchanges that happen in that group. And that all has to do with the way that you encourage and inspire and kind of prod people to participate. And I think that, you've found a way in that group to make Facebook really work. And so
thank you.
That's one part of it. The other part of it is you turned me on to interact quizzes on your website.
Sorry, not sorry. Those are addictive.
Aren't they, though?
Yes.
So the first thing that I'll tell you is that I think I went to Entrepreneurial Society. I joined the Facebook group. And the next thing that I did is I went to the website. And on the website, there's this really cool quiz about finding your marketing archetype.
Yes.
It was bonus. It was so good. And it was like the details that you sent afterwards about my archetype was like, man, this person really knows who I am. And we've never met.
Yes.
Right?
What a crazy concept, right?
And then every time I turn around, you're just doing something else that's really, really cool. And one of the best things that I feel around Dre is that I have permission to do things my own way.
Yep.
And that's something that we're going to be talking about here today. So that's my introduction. I didn't do any detailed research, but I'm just sharing from my heart here because I think the world
put you in my pocket and have you introduce me all the time because it sounded pretty good to me. It wasn't like, here's her life story. Let's all take a little nap and then I'll wake you up when we're done. I liked it.
Well, your email this morning was just, it was so good and so necessary. Can you talk a little bit about, I could include a link to the email in the description if I have your permission to do that.
Yeah, do it.
The thing that I was really struck by was just you're generally a very energetic person. Mm-hmm. In this email, your energy was over the top. Mm-hmm. And it came across in such a way that just said, listen up. This is the reality for somebody in my shoes. Mm-hmm. Here's what you need to learn. Can you talk a little bit about what brought that email about?
This is, as you know, maybe your audience doesn't know, but as you know, I've been going through an existential crisis for the last year and a half, which frankly, I think a lot of us have, right? We're rethinking everything. We're realizing what our priorities are. And we're reassessing what our life is because life looks a lot different than it did 2 years ago. And we're kind of not left to ignore it anymore. And for me, I couldn't, right? And I built my business 7 years ago. I had my kid 5 years ago. I never changed a thing about it. And in the last 5 years, I have gotten sucked into what I have named the guru pipeline of listening to these people who have a completely different definition of success and have a completely different lifestyle. They could not possibly understand my lifestyle. And I think it's really important that we point that out. that somebody is not an expert to you unless they're an expert in your life.
Yeah.
Period. I said in the email something about, and this is something I've joked about for a long time, is the, batch. You just need a day of batching. Do you know how fucking impossible it would be for me to block out 6 hours of my day, let alone some 8 hours, and, record videos and they're all pretty, and then a whole nother batch day of editing. Like, what do you think I have time-wise? And those are the voices that are being amplified right now. Those are the voices. Those are the voices that we are judging ourselves based on, that we're trying to attain. And I mean, we as moms, not even just single moms. I'm a single mom, so even harder to get time. But, I follow moms with 5 kids, which I'm like, holy shit, 10 kids. I know one with 10 kids. Us moms, we have a different set of circumstances. And we have a different value system than what's being amplified right now. And so it's kind of a vicious cycle where, that's what we compare ourselves with. That's what we're trying to attain. And then what happens is we spin our fucking wheels and we don't make progress because we don't have the permission to take what they're saying and throw it in the garbage, not hold it for them.
Yeah.
We keep holding it. We try to make it work for us. And then we think it's us that's wrong. Something's wrong with us because we couldn't make it work. But we can't always shove ourselves, our family first selves, into their stuff frameworks. Like, it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a really important thing to talk about. For the last year and a half, I have made a really big point to have a lot of conversations, like no sales, no bullshit. You know me, I just want to connect and hear what's going on with everybody else. We're in these silos. We're all over the world. It feels like you're so alone and you're going through something that nobody else understands.
Yeah.
But as I know with the community, most of the time I reach out, I'm vulnerable. I say, I'm a mess. Here's how I'm a mess. And everybody goes, me too.
Yeah.
And I just started to doubt that I could do it as a mom. I still want to grow my family. I'm terrified what happens when I have the next kid, knowing what happened with the first one. And I think, after so many conversations, it's just the same thing. We might be in different parts of our parenthood journey, right? I have clients who have teenagers. That's a very different phase than me, or someone that has littles and is continuing to have more. So I just think it's a conversation close to my rant. And I want to start talking about it because I'm the Solopreneur Society. I like to work alone. I love your thing. I still, need some connection, but I'm an introvert. People fucking exhaust me.
Yeah.
But I need to see solopreneurs ruling the world. I want those days where small businesses lined our streets, right? Our streets are now, the internet highway, but I want solopreneurs. I want everyday moms and dads and couples to be getting their slice of the pie.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, and it's crucial in order to do that, to start talking about these topics where the voices that are supposed to be representing us are not representing us, and they are not serving us. And I think that it's important that we start creating, bubbles and circles and safe spots on the internet where moms and dads can talk about business in the context of the crazy family life that they live. Right? I mean, I love COVID for what it's done for Zooms, right? Now your kid walking in the background, it's not like, oh, God, I have ass sweats. I don't know if that's going to be like taken wrong. Now it's just like, there's always people in the background. The cat's tail is going to be flowing over here. Like, I loved it for that.
Yeah.
And so each month that I go on in the last couple of years, it's just me getting to the core of what I'm really about. And I've never been about, females only. I love my dudes. I love you guys. I have too much masculine energy to be sitting in a girls only circle. But, moms and dads and those that really are doing this for family and doing it for the fun and family shit. That's what I'm about. It's me coming into my own and saying, come with me, guys. Because I want to amplify those voices.
Well, you just described the reason that I wanted to be a solopreneur in the first place. Is it happened around the time that my son was born, and I just wanted to be home. I didn't want to be going to an office, and I wanted to be able to be, I wanted to be able to go to the park.
Yeah, exactly.
I happened to go through a major illness about 2 years into that whole thing, but the thing that was really interesting was my original motivation for that was I did not want to have to go away from my kid for that long. And even now that he's 16 years old, I still feel kind of a desire. He's going to be in his last 2 years of high school now, and I want to be there.
Yeah.
I want to stay connected to him, right?
Yeah. If I want to go to my kid's Halloween parade in the middle of the day, I want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask anyone. I don't want a business. This is important because we have to reverse engineer that from the lifestyle we want. And that's what the gurus aren't talking about.
Yeah.
And as parents, our phases change, right? So you want to talk to me about what do you want your 5-year plan to look like? I don't know. If I have a kid in a year, that's probably going to change it. What if I don't have a kid, right? What if I don't have a kid for 3 years? What if I have 2 kids in the next year? What if I have no kid, right? This all changes. But that's my point, is that we want businesses that serve the lives that we want.
Exactly.
That's like you just said, that's the motivation. And so that changes all of the rules.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't talk about, is that we are operating in this set of rules, but those aren't our rules. That doesn't come from parents. That doesn't come from solopreneurs whose motivation is fun and family. We don't actually want to work. And I think it's okay that we say that. We don't actually want to work. We want to have passion. We want to have something that we are like behind. We want to have something that's ours beyond children. We all have that purpose of like, we need more than just kids. But that's it. That's our motivation. So we have to reverse engineer that and figure out what is the life that we want. How do we want to take on clients? How do we want to offer ourselves? How many hours do we technically have? Do we literally have? Why are we operating in a business model that's for a single dude who's going to fly all over the world? That's not us.
Or some rich parents who can hire a nanny.
Right. So I have 6 hours, 4 days a week. That's it.
Yeah.
That's when my kid's at school. Summer, I don't know how that's going to work out. Hopefully we got a good program. We can shove them in. And that's okay with me. I take Fridays off.
Yeah.
I want more days with him. I want more days I don't want just Saturday and Sunday. And then guess what? As parents, we have to do the lawn work. We have to do the grocery shopping. We have to do the laundry, right? So that's our weekend. And then our week is the stress ball of like work, make money. We're not in it for that.
Yeah.
We're in it for a totally different reason. So there's different rules. And I think that it's okay for all of us to admit all of these things.
Exactly.
They're the unpopular opinion, but they're the real shit.
They're the real deal, right?
And if we don't get real, it's not going to happen. We can't help more people unless we just start to get real.
You're absolutely right about that. One of the things that I was really struck by with your email this morning was I'm not a single parent. I'm in a marriage, and we're dual parents, and we're both solopreneurs, and we're both tapped all the time. And there was so much about what you wrote about that I could relate to, that even as a dual parent, there are things that come into play when it comes to being a solopreneur. And one of the things that you mentioned was the social media presence. There are a couple of things that I wanted to mention that I've just I've seen happen over the last year and a half as you've kind of been going through. You call it your existential crisis, but what's been really interesting to see is you've done some really crucial things that I think people can learn from in the way that you have you've changed your business model, and you've changed your marketing strategy, and you've changed the way that you participate in social media. And I'd like to hear a little bit about, in particular, the social media piece of it. Your Instagram page is one that I share with people all the time. And the
That's how
reason
you
that,
tap out without tapping out.
well, that's just it. You've created, first of all, your design is impeccable, as I would expect it to be, with the really cool grid and all of that kind of stuff. But the thing that you've said is it's DM only here. I'm not going to be doing any interacting on any posts, and I'm not going to post. It's DM only. And if you want to DM, that's just fine.
Sure.
But setting that kind of a boundary with people, I think, is a really good example for how you can structure social media in a way that still works for you, still have a presence there, but not have the compulsion to be on it all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, are there other things, and I've seen similar things in the way that you interact with the group on Facebook, but how did you arrive at those ideas for staying connected without having to be there all the time?
Well, there are really two things. One is getting real with the time. I was just telling my therapist this last week. I never realized how valuable my time is. I was just not one of those people, right?
Yeah.
I think as women, we don't. I think as moms, we put ourselves forward. And there's just reason after reason after reason that it's crazy. But in my early 40s, I'm just now figuring out that my time is the most valuable thing. I mean, besides my child and my cat,
Yeah.
it's incredibly valuable. And I mean, it hit me like, holy shit, you're lucky to have my time. And I love to give and I care so hard.
Yeah.
And that was hard to reconcile for me because I want to give, I want to be present, I want to be real. I want you to feel like you're heard, you're seen, you're understood. I truly believe in you. Like I want that connection. And so I had to reconcile, like, am I a dick? Am I actually a dick? And I don't care. And I don't want to talk to people. And it just came down to my time is so super valuable. And I think everybody's time is.
Yeah.
And again, I started to think like, well, why do we think that we have to be connected? Like, why do we think? And it's, again, the guru pipeline telling us, post on everything, post 5 times a day, post this, post that.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, if you stop and you actually just talk to people, which just so happens to be my specialty, it's just connecting, just talking with people, you realize that they all hate it.
Yeah.
And that they're pretty much not getting anything out of it. They're not really getting clients out of it. They're not really getting shit, but burnt out, resentful, and pissed off. So why are we doing it?
Good question.
Right. Somebody has to stand up and say we don't have to.
Yeah.
Somebody has to figure it out. So I honestly took that on. I've talked to too many people that don't want to do it. And I've talked to too many people like you who are like, how are you doing it now that you're not really? And I've never been huge on social media because it sucks my soul dry.
Yeah.
But after 2020, yeah, I definitely tapped out. And what you're referring to is a creative design tile-wise on Instagram that, says you can DM me. So every platform is now that. You can DM me. The only place that you can get me is in my inbox and in the group or in my DMs on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's it. And part of that was also strategically because I didn't really realize I've done this for a very long time. I don't like surface level. I don't want likes. I don't give a shit about likes.
Yeah.
I don't even give a shit if you buy because I have too many people that don't buy for like 2 years and then spend 10 grand with me.
Yeah.
Again, I understand my customer. So I don't need to get you on some like quick thing where you don't think and then you just give me $20 and then hopefully you give me 500 and then give me 10,000. I don't play that game.
Yeah.
So for me, most of the time it's just looking at something, realizing how much I hate it, reconciling that with how much I really want to make a difference.
Yeah.
And coming to the conclusion that most of the time what I do is I just say that I have to be the one that does it first. And like I said, most of the time it's like, me opening my wine stained kimono and going, you guys want to come? And people do. right? So somebody has to be the first one. And it's a lot of what I teach about branding, right? It's all about belief building,
Yeah.
It's about saying what your truths really are, because that's what people really connect to, is like the little idiosyncrasies that are not marketing, that are how you are approaching, how are you thinking about something, more than like how are you really doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it is really easy, right? I could just tell you put some tiles on your Instagram and tell them you're not going to DM. But there's a lot of like mindset work, and there's a lot of like belief building that has to be done for that. And that's what, because I have to name everything, why I've just wrapped it all in an existential crisis. But really, it's just me challenging every single sliver of my business, because
Yeah.
it became something that was bigger than me. I couldn't manage it. I wasn't happy. And I was being a shithole mom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I screaming at my kid because I'm anxious because I didn't get an email out?
Yeah.
Like, it's just too much. And that's what I mean by like us moms, we don't have the bandwidth to be on there. And it's not doing anything for us. I mean, ask people who are active on social media how much they're actually getting out of it. They either can't tell
Yeah.
you, won't tell you, or will tell you that it's not shit.
Yeah. Most of them are not
Nothing
paying the
now.
bills
I'm
from
still
that.
working on it. Like, you're still mastering the art of just getting people to talk to you. The other thing, so I said there's two things. The other thing is, and this, I see the online world with real world goggles.
Yeah.
So when you tell me to just go post shit on social media for a like, I literally picture standing in the corner with one of those guys with like the sign, and you carry.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would care. I think if you have been looking for a tree trimmer, and then I happen to be like, I trim trees, that you would be like, oh my God, I was just thinking about that. That's okay. I need to get that number. How often does that happen in our real life when we're like thinking about something, and then all of a sudden we see it, and then we're like, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's the way that the internet has supposedly been set up. That's not how it's set up. It's just you standing on the corner with a sign, waving it around, hoping that someone's going to give a shit.
Yeah. All the above.
Yeah.
And all I can say is, preach it.
And that's all I can do. All I can do, I'm at a place where all I can do is what I think is right for me, and speak to the people that I think get it,
Yeah.
and be totally, and this, be totally okay with the people that don't get it. What we need as solopreneurs is a lot less than we think we need. My
Oh yeah.
list is smaller than anyone ever anticipates. My community is, 9,000 people. Do you think 9,000 people are active? No. But there is a core group in there of a few hundred that I could ask anything to.
Oh yeah.
I could ask for any help, any assistance. Like, can you look at this for me? Can you test it? You've done it countless times for me.
Yeah.
What does that do? Like, I have been able to grow my reach and sustain myself while I blow shit up, because I have relationships,
Yeah.
right? And again, if we think about real worlds, like, do we need 100 really great friends, or do we need a handful? I mean, it's the same thing. Do you need 10,000 people on your list? Why do you need 10,000? Because you're following the guru path of like, offer them 20, and then offer them 500, and then offer them 10,000. And
Yeah.
then way down the line, you'll get some loyal fan. You can get that in 5 minutes. It's about having a real conversation. So again, if we take real world goggles to have a conversation, how do you strike that up with a stranger? For you, right? It looks differently for all of us. I'm not the one that's like, unless I'm really drunk, that is like the life of the party. That's like going to go, hi, Andre. That's not me.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that I've done very intentionally, is create a very small corner of the internet where you can come find me. But that's where I am. That's where I am. That group was my safe spot, so that I could people, and so that people could get support, which is why I named it Support Lounge. A lot of people have a hard time understanding, because Facebook groups have been so disgusting, that I set that tone of like, this is going to be my spot, and you can come join me and we can make it our spot. But if you're not going to follow the rules, you're going to get the out now.
Yeah. Well, you've set it up as such a place that, that any discussion can happen. Everybody there they make themselves available as resources to each other
They
daily.
genuinely help,
Yeah,
which is like
it's amazing.
unheard of online. For a stranger to literally help people, I hear again and again, they jump on Zooms with other people, like help them fix things up. They send them logins and they get like some tech thing cleared up for them. You've written copy for people in my group. You just wrote a bio for Kelly, who's now like just said this morning she closed a client. It's like, you
Yeah,
don't know her. You don't know her anything. She didn't pay you a dime. But look at that. Like, look what a little bit of kindness did.
good
Like, look
connection.
what, being real did. And that's the movement I'm leading, and to me, the real people are the solopreneurs because we're the ones that are like, we're real life. We have messy shit going on. We have circumstances. We have health issues. We have families. We have all this stuff going on. We're not that picture perfect with the yacht in the background. Like none of it is
Yeah,
us. So the realer that we can be, the more real the people who are surrounding us are going to be. And for me, that's the kind of contagion I want. I want to be able to like start mine, get that first tier, and have them be going out to their people, be real, be
yeah,
helpful, be kind, and be true to you, true to whatever it is that feels like that is what you want to do. If you have 4 hours a day, you can totally build a business in 4 days. I mean, 4 hours a day.
yeah,
It's a different set of rules. That's where I'm like, let's all stand up and say, your shit doesn't work for me, bye.
yeah.
And realize that we need a different set of rules and start talking about our businesses like we are the people behind them and what we stand for.
One of the things that I love about what you've done in the last little while is you've really trimmed down your menu of services that you offer.
Yep.
And I'm kind of curious as how did you arrive at, I mean, the main thing that I'm seeing now is it half day with Dre?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like your primary offer
Yep.
on your website, and there's some other things that are available there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really, it's very simple.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you
You,
that what I have been chasing for a year and a half is simplicity. That's
yeah,
what I realized that I was missing. It was so complicated and it was so much busy work to get to the real shit I wanted to do.
yeah,
But I just needed to clean house. I just needed to throw all of the shit I didn't want to do away and then see what, if I had to bring little things back or what I had to do. Um, so again, it was a product of deduction of like, what do I not want to do? And again, I don't want to work with people who are not in it.
yeah,
I don't want to, my time's too valuable. So if you want to hire me for half day or a day, you're in it, you're present. This is the way it's going. I no longer do any long-term contracts at all. I
wow,
took my last long-term client because I was still doing it on the coaching side a month ago. And that's it. That's it for me.
wow,
So it is going to be Dre for a day or half day.
yeah,
And it's going to be a membership, which I've been teasing a little bit. And so I love happy hours. And again, this is part of it is figuring out what do I even need out of my business? Like we don't think about that. We just think about like, what do I want to do? What do I like personality wise, like fulfillment wise, what do I need? Like, do I need to talk to people? Yeah. Like those happy hours. Oh my God. Like social media, please. No. But those happy hours, we're literally just us like this. Like I'm not talking to people. I'm talking with people. Everybody's
yeah,
talking amongst themselves. Like I needed that. I didn't do them for a year and a half.
yeah,
And I realized like, again, I was marketing and doing all this bullshit so that I could do an hour of what I enjoy. Right. And then 80 more hours to market the replay.
yeah,
And I just don't want to do any of it anymore. So everything that I create is going to go into a membership. And if you want one-on-one time, there are 3 different tiers. There's 2 hours, 4 hours, or 6.5 hours.
yeah.
Boom, that's it.
That's easy.
So it's all Dre's expertise, everything she creates. Plus, do you want one-on-one time? You pay, right? It's high ticket one-on-one time.
Yeah,
Otherwise, low ticket access to all my shit. That's how I want. I wanted a membership for years. And everybody I hired talked me out of it.
Oh, wow.
Every single one of them talked me out. And they're not all coaches that I don't like, that I have negative things to say about. Um, but none of them truly understood what my lifestyle looked like. They
Yeah.
saw my numbers, they saw impressive numbers in a community, and they decided this is what I should do.
Huh.
And they didn't take into consideration how I literally operate. Like, people exhaust me. So it needs to be like, I want to make a big difference, but I don't have a lot of peopling in me to do that. And when I people, I want it to be with like the good, like my people.
Yeah.
I don't want to be exhausted by the exchange of energy. So just getting really clear, like, if you do want one-on-one time, you pay for it, because my time is super duper valuable. And at full days, I can obviously only do a couple of those a month.
Yeah.
So my full 100% focus, once the membership is launched, which will hopefully be done in July, that's it. Everything is about getting people into there.
Yeah.
And ultimately, a little sneak peek, I want the community to be paid. I want to be paid for what I do.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with us saying that. Like, we're going to do social for free. We're going to do all of our opt-ins for free. We're going to do this for free. We're going to do that for free. Only so eventually we can get a customer. No.
It's kind of
No.
backwards.
No, exactly. So, there are a lot of changes for me, but that's my biggest message, is like, we have gone through so much as families,
Yeah.
as solopreneurs with real lives that have been really torn apart in all kinds of ways in the last 2 years. And it is time for us to say, I need to blow some shit up. I need to change some shit. My business is making, you saw that email about 2 months ago where I finally told you guys that my entire business is making me miserable.
Yeah.
The whole thing I hate. And it's not you guys.
No.
It's not you. You know what I mean? But you're allowed to say that. That was why I was like, I have to do this for other people. And my emails, those kind of emails, get a ton of response. And that's what feeds me.
Yeah.
That's what feeds me. And that's what I mean. Like, I open the kimono and people come in. And that validates, that I need to talk about these like messier, nastier looking things, because that's actually where the progress is made. I've made more progress in the last year than I did the last 3 years, and working less.
Yeah.
Working a lot less.
Well, the connections that you make they speak for themselves in terms of the quality and the depth of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of vulnerability and transparency is rare, but it's completely trustworthy.
I hope I come
amazing.
across as that. I mean, a lot of people get that.
Yeah.
And so for my people, I have to assume that they do, but that's the ultimate message, is let's all just be real. Let's all just be real. And real is messy, and real means you change your mind. And real
Yeah.
means that you're different, because we're all very, very different. What works for you, even if we talked about working alone, what that looks like for you and what that
Yeah.
looks like for me are two different things.
Completely different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, instead of us all trying to shove our shit into this guru framework, let's just throw up the middle fingers and say that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And then get on the right track.
I'd like you to talk a little bit about the bundle that you mentioned in the email this morning. Now, I don't know if this is officially launched yet or not. Did you say that it's actually launching on Monday?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so this is going to be available on Monday, just Monday through Friday. Again,
okay.
This is like, I love this because even the whole launch, it's 50 moms. We don't have time for any kind of bullshit. We don't have time for any kind of like drawn out, like scarcity driven. This all started with a coach that I actually hired. Well, this all started with a bundle. I bought my own bundle, the Digital Insiders bundle. Did you buy that? I feel like everybody on the fucking planet bought that.
I don't think I did buy that one.
Okay.
I'm
So that was
bundled
at the
out
end
right
of
now.
2020. I grabbed maybe like 5 things. I literally grabbed everything that said mom, because I was already like, okay, I'm looking for moms. This is ridiculous. Nobody understands. I ended up finding a gal by the name of Gail, and she runs the Baby Proof Accelerator. And everything she talks about is about moms. And she has 5 kids. She does an Insta like fabulous it out. Like she's so real and messy in the most wonderfully inspiring way. I fell in love with her. It's very hard for me to fangirl out. Like it takes a lot. And I was like, right in. So I was working with her, and she has such an amazing sphere of moms. And she actually had the brilliant idea to do our own bundle and do it like moms would do it, sell like moms, offer like moms, cater to moms. And this bundle is really, our love letter to the moms out there who are stuck in this guru pipeline
Yeah.
and who want more. They still want this. They're not totally in that groove of like what their passion is and how to run their business in the time they have and then clock out.
Yeah.
And so she really had the brilliant idea and she really handpicked the best moms in all the different areas. And again, as solopreneurs and moms, there is not a clear division between home and business a lot of times. So there's a lot of different things that, if you're going to talk about funnel, you got to talk about this. If you're going to talk about this, you got to talk about the kids' school schedule. And so it's really business mom experts from all the different angles of what we deal with. I mean, everything from the nitty gritty marketing stuff to, managing the family. So what I'm kind of calling it is family proofing your business and business proofing your family, because it's very intertwined. So this bundle is just we all picked our top thing. There's a resource, a tool, they're not big courses. Again, we were like, we're not inundating people. They're on very specific topics. And they're totally mom flavored. It is for our moms. And this is just really our love letter to go, it's been a long 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to rise up and be the voices that are fucking heard.
So I want to make sure that we mention the dates again. This is only available next Monday through Friday.
Only available. I don't even know what the date is for Monday, but I know this thing
I'm going to look at it right now.
On April 1st. Okay. So we're not April Fools in your ass. There is not going to be any like, oh, no, it's the DIY bundle. Nothing. Okay. This is just all of us coming together for 1 week. That's what we could all commit to. 1 week of helping as many moms as we can. This is a $99 bundle. It's got 50 resources, tools, all the good stuff, 50 different women. All contributed the most top shelf thing they think that could make the biggest dent in family proofing your business and business proofing your family. Bite size, really easy. And here's the thing, it's like a buffet. This is what I love. You can just grab what you want. You don't have to have 50 fucking people emailing you. You don't have to grab 50 things. But you can grab whatever you want, right? If you're one of those hoarders, grab all of it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're like me, and again, we're talking about like, I need to get shit done. I need to get it done now. And I don't need any fluff, any bullshit, any funnels, any more marketing, any of that stuff. This is it. So it's really great. You can go in there, pop in, grab whatever you want. And the bundle closes on April 1st, but you have until May 1st to grab whatever you want. So you have a month to grab whatever you want. It's $99. That's it. And then my girl Yael is going to be hosting a baby proof workshop, which I've taken the workshop and I bought into her accelerator program. She's amazing. So even if you just go to this free or this 2-hour workshop that's included, this is the one that planted all of my mom's seeds. Like this is the one that said, you're a mom, girl. This doesn't work for you. She's the one that planted these seeds for me. So I'm really, really excited to share her alone, but some of these other moms that I've connected with and who have helped me figure out this whole existential crisis. I mean, this is really, other than my community, this is the community I've been hanging out in for the last year and a half and going like this, la, 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 to all the other bullshit. This is where I've been. And so I'm really excited to share my moms with everyone. And like I said, make a difference in a mom's life, because that's my spirit animal is moms and dads. But This seems to be for moms.
Well, I didn't find a link.
It's not open
It's
yet.
not open yet, so it'll
Yeah.
open on
So
Monday.
if you want to, because I think you're releasing this on Friday, right? So people will
Yes.
start to see it. If you see it after, sorry, it's over. But what I did after we talked, because this literally came together in 5 minutes, I just threw a button. I had it on my contact page, but if you just go to the solopreneurssociety.com,
Yeah.
on my homepage, there's a place that says there's an orange button. It's the only orange button, and it says send me your top shelf emails. That's just to get on my email list, because again, that's the only place I people. So either go to the solopreneurssociety.com, find that button, just opt in really quick. I'll be sending emails all next week. Or if you cannot stand anyone else in your inbox, totally get it. Get into the Solopreneur Society Support Lounge, search that on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'll be sharing links and everything in there. Those are the only two spots. You're not going to find me on social or anywhere else. You may find one of the other moms, but not me. So that's the place to go, the solopreneurssociety.com or the Solopreneur Society Support Lounge on Facebook. If you get into those, you would have to be stuck like trapped in a gas station bathroom to not hear about it next week. So I'm going to be blasting this shit out.
Yeah, it sounds like a great thing, and I'll make sure to include links to all of those places in the description, as well as the link to the email that you sent out this morning. And I will say that Dre's email list is one of the few that I actually open all of them, because it's just always good.
Yeah, and I try not to overdo it.
You don't.
It's once a week, and it's kind of like a diary entry more than anything else. And I don't do the hard sales either.
Yeah.
I understand, again, when we want it, we grab it.
Yep.
So yeah, my emails are really, love letters to you guys and diaries of like, let's get real. So yes, I encourage people to get on the list, because I take it totally seriously. And again, I know that you do not want a bunch of people in your inbox. So it's once a week. That's it. Wednesdays. Other than like this bundle will be all week, but 99.9% of the time it's one a week. That's it.
Yeah. And sometimes it's even less than that.
I know.
You know?
Sometimes I have sick kiddo,
Yeah.
or I'm fucking tired. What a concept, right? Just that alone, us thinking that if we don't show up, the whole world's going to end.
Yeah.
That's a big one for us parents.
I think we can let go of that now, can't we?
We can let go of it.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the group, as you see, I don't post as much. I post once, maybe twice a week. Usually the second one's just some witty banter that got stuck in my head that I think is so funny. I just have to share.
Yeah.
But usually, it's one thing. And again, it's not in the interest of generating likes. It's to have a real conversation and to hear from people about their take on something.
Well, I can vouch for all of the above and just say that they're all worth being a part of. If you're a solopreneur, even if you're a small business owner and not a solopreneur, there's still a lot of value to be found here. But the solopreneur, the lounge is one of my favorite spots online, and I have very few favorite spots online anymore.
I get it. My people are like, girl, I like you. Do you understand what that means? I get it. Yes. I know how much that means. I love it. I love that my people are like me, and it's like, that takes a lot. It takes a lot, girl, to make me like someone, and I'll take it. But I really want to thank you, Frank, for reaching out this morning and
Well, Dre, it's
offering this. I was like, I haven't been on with you in forever since I haven't done a happy hour.
Crazy, isn't it? It's been since
2020.
Before the pandemic, right?
It was right at the beginning. I did the stimulus package.
That's right.
Yeah, in March 2020. That was the last happy hours I did.
That's just insane to think about.
Yeah.
But
getting back to them, July, getting back to them, actually probably June. And then the membership will launch in July. I'm very excited.
Well, I'm excited to hear more about it.
Folks, I'm going to tease it out.
Again,
I'm going to like, now. But that's the thing. I want to co-create this whole thing with you guys. That's my other thing, is I co-create. I want you to tell me, no, that's stupid. No, I like that. Yes, more of that, less of that. Don't have time for that. So as I'm building it out over the 3 months, you guys are going to co-create it with me. So it's
Works for me.
exactly what the hell you want and need, not what somebody's telling you need. It's exactly what you need. So come on over and co-create with us. The
We have
more
so
the
much to look
merrier.
forward to, right?
Yeah.
Again,
Well,
folks.
thanks again, Franklin. You're amazing.
Oh,
Thanks for all the support, because you really do. You have been like insanely supportive for years.
well, and you have been for me too, and I appreciate it. I'm just deeply grateful that you're around.
Awesome.
So, folks, Dre Beltrami, again, can be found at the Solopreneur Society, solopreneurssociety.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have a link for the Facebook group, the lounge, the support lounge will be in the description. And we'll have a link to the email as well. So, Dre, you have a good one. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you again real soon.
Yes, you too, Franklin. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to Your Own Best Company. If you enjoyed the show, would you do me a favor and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast host? If you really love it, leave me a review or share it with your circles. If you feel like your career is reaching a dead end, or you're feeling a deep sense of dissatisfaction in your work right now, I help people discover their gifts and then find or create new opportunities that are the best fit for their talent, experience, and lifestyle. Email me at coaching@franklintaggart.com for more information. I also help people start, finish, and launch creative projects, and I offer an ongoing marketing mastermind for solopreneurs and freelancers. More information on these programs and services can be found at franklintaggart.com. Thanks again for spending this time with me.